Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the 16 Bitchin' Podcast. You are able to find this podcast in a variety of places, and I can't be fucked to list them off. You may be listening to it in one of them podcasty places, or you may be watching it on YouTube. If so, I have a special treat for you. Live footage. Voing. That's right, you get to see live footage for today's topic. It's, not necessary, but I suppose it's kind of fitting, and it's a bonus. Just so you know, I won't be doing this kind of footage for every podcast. This isn't something I'm going to do from now on, but it is something I may do in the future for other stuff. Why not? I won't be doing it with people I interview, simply because, you know, they're more comfortable not being filmed. They can open up. They don't have to give a shit if I interview them on a Sunday or something and it's late. It's like, don't worry about getting changed from work clothes. Don't worry about making an effort. Fuck it. I'm the only one that will see you. So people are more comfortable and they talk more freely when they're comfortable is what I'm trying to say. So yeah. Anyway, today, as you may notice from the title, we are not covering free games. Now, why is that? Well, if you've been paying attention and keeping up to date on things, there's been a problem with the most recent Sega Head episode, and it is infuriating for me. When I found out about it on Friday night, I think it was, last Friday night, I was fucking furious. I was so pissed off, so angry. If you had asked me then, are you going to keep doing YouTube? I'd have said, no fucking way, fuck this shit. I'd have thrown my camera in the bin. I'd have smashed up the editing. I was that pissed off. Now, I'm not even joking. I was that fucking angry. I'm not so angry now because I managed to fix things. But I am still pissed. Because, basically, in case you didn't know, WWE, World Wrestling... I don't know what the E stands for. I'm not even going to pretend to care. Those fuckers didn't like the fact that there was some wrestling footage in that video. Even though there were many other YouTube channels that weren't WWE that had similar footage. Not the same, because the way I did it was cut up in different bits. Yeah, it was of old matches from the 90s. The Attitude Era, if that means anything to you. And basically they decided, because I'm not a big channel, and there's no way to get any money out of my video, they thought they would just block it completely. So you couldn't watch the video at all. Because they just like to basically wiggle their little dicks around and just pretend they're important. So, Steve McMahon, I hope you got a boner out of that. You sad little billionaire bastard cunt of a man. I say man, you look more like a deformed squirrel. You're a fuck. Anyway, now I've got that out of my system. The video's been fixed, but at a cost. A part of the video has have to be cut out. That really annoys me because I spent so long on this video. It's the longest I've spent on any one video. So, yeah, I was super pissed at the time. Ask anyone else in Retro Refresh, they could see I was angry. And they've been quite supportive, so thank you to everyone else in Retro Refresh for talking me through it, helping me in advice, because... Alright, at first I was too angry. I didn't want to listen to anyone. I didn't want to take any advice. You know, you get angry enough, you don't care what anyone's got to say. But when I calmed down, which took days, I was asking people for advice. Should I upload the video that's fixed or try it and cut the video as it is in the studio, the YouTube editing studio, which is phenomenally fucking wank. I mean, it is poor. All I want to do is a simple cut. They don't like this bit of footage? Okay, I'll cut this out. I could not cut it neatly. It kept cutting in the middle of a sentence because their editing software is like, you want to cut right here. Well, no, you can either cut this bit or that bit. No, I want to cut here. It's like kind of in the middle. It's like milliseconds out from where you're picking. No, it's got to be here or there. Fuck's sake. So I ended up having to cut out more than I wanted, just to make it so it was a better transition, so it wasn't in mid-sentence. Because using YouTube software, in order to cut out the bit they said you need to get rid of, it sounded like this, right? I'll give you a demonstration. This is what it sounded like. WrestleMania 2000. To play this game, I'm just gonna... And it was like that. That kind of really bad cut you just heard, that was what it was like. So I had to cut more of the video out just to make the transition less shitty, because YouTube's cutting software is poor. It is wank. Anyway, enough of that. The video is back out there now. If you're lucky, you got to see it before the WWE got pissy. If not, it's still a video that I'm proud of. It's still one I stand by and say, I worked my arse off on this. I know it's good. I'm happy with how it turned out. I was happier, but I'm still happy with what I've got now, at least. So it could be worse. It could be worse. But today I thought, I'm going to cover something I wanted to cover for a while. And I was going to do it in a video, but I thought, why not do it in a podcast episode? And yeah, there's going to be footage for this, so this is a little bonus for anyone that decides to check this out on YouTube. But I will make sure the audio is as good as can be for those who are just listening, even though I just fucked that up. Yeah, I keep it real here. The only things I'll cut out is if I stop to have a drink or something, because why have dead air? It's a podcast. If you're listening, you don't want to hear me having a drink. So it'll be a cut like this. You see? You didn't notice the cut. If you were listening, you didn't notice any cut. If you're watching it, it would have just looked like I clicked from one frame to another. But it doesn't matter. This is a podcast. I'm not spending ages on editing visuals. I'm not going to do that. So anyway, what we're talking about today, something, as I said, I wanted to cover for a long time. I wanted to talk about all the past Sega Head episodes. Just go over them. Why I covered certain games. What the fuck I was thinking when I planned it. The mentality behind it. Basically, it's a look back at the Sega Head channel, but a look back at all the big bits. Now, I was astounded to find out there are actually 34. There's 34 fucking Sega Head episodes. I didn't know there was that many, but I've been doing it for 6 years. These are the big videos that do take months to make sometimes. So I'm going to watch them and talk about certain bits I've forgotten about. And I'm not going to lie, the first one we're going to go for is, of course, the first one that ever came out. One I hate. I hate this one. Yet it's done phenomenally well for views. I don't know why. This is the Sega Head episode on Virtua Fighter 2. Everything about this video makes me cringe, but I should imagine everyone's like that with their early videos. This one I hate for a couple of reasons. Well, a few. There's a few. It's not a couple, it's a few. Good few. One is, well, you know what, I'll go on why I was inspired by it first. What made me want to make this? I was inspired by the Angry Video Game Nerd. I wanted to do a video like his, but, as I've stated in the past, I wanted there to be a little bit of video game education, like Jew Wario used to do, and I wanted it to be goofy, like Pat the NES Punk used to do. So, but yeah, still have that level of, I don't know, random angriness of AVGN. The problem is this video came out and had too much of that. When I look back at it, soon after it was finished actually, I was not happy with how much like the Angry Video Game Nerd I was being. Not the video doesn't feel like an AVGN episode, but I felt like I was trying to be him too much rather than just be myself, so I fixed it in later videos. This is the only one where I look back and think I tried to be like him too much. So that's good. At least I didn't fucking stay silly with that. But why do I hate the video aside from that? Well, many things making-wise. The cropping in some places is bollocks. What was I thinking? Clearly, I didn't have a clue how to do stuff. Clearly. The opening theme tune, I still love the tune. I think I hit the nail on the head. I picked the perfect fucking tune. It's called Earthlight from the Virtual On game. I love that game. One of the best Sega Saturn games ever. But my cropping on the intro here is dog shit. It's pathetic. The logo, I guess you call it, the Sega Head logo, it's pretty poor. I didn't know what I wanted. But at least I like the certain frames, the way the video moves, all of that shit. And why did I pick Virtual Fighter for the Megadrive? Why did I pick that? Well, it always astounded me. Virtual Fighter was supposed to be this big game, this big 3D thing, new 3D fighting game, when 3D was all anyone wanted in gaming history, you know. It was at that time when that was all people wanted. So why the fuck did they make a 2D version? I understand you think a new game coming out. We want to make it available to everyone, so there'll be one on our current console, Saturn, and one on our last console, Megadrive/Genesis. The difference in the games are so different, it should not have been done. And I wanted to highlight that. I always thought it was kind of stupid how they did that. So that's why I picked the game. But another thing that I don't think I've ever covered in the Sega Head channel ever is what I do with the episodes. I always like them to focus around one main joke. They all have loads of silly little jokes throughout them. As you know, you need to keep the comedy going. It doesn't have to be constant because, as I said, I want it to have educational bits, goofy bits, but I want it to have a main joke. And the Virtual Fighter one had kind of like two because I didn't really know where I was going. It was all experimental. There's this one picture of a... it's famously known in Britain as like there's a girl with a clown. It was what you saw when there was no more telly on the channel. Old days, old TV. If there was no programs left, you saw this picture. Maybe I'll put it here if I remember. And I just did a little version of that with my face on it, and my friend said that looks fucking disturbing. I was like, yeah, that's why I'm going to keep it in. So there was that. But the main joke was also the Mortal Kombat fight between me and my friend. His name's Chicken. Well, his real name's Pete, but we call him Chicken for several reasons. And that was quite a good fight scene. I wanted it to be completely stupid. And because I'm not pig-headed, I wanted the joke to be me being made a fool of. This would be a tradition that would occur many times throughout Sega Head videos. I would end up losing the fight. Bad shit would happen. I would walk off crying like a little prick. Because I'm not vain. It's not like, let's have a fight scene. I'll kick your ass. Yeah! I'm not like that. It's got to be about the funny. And it's funnier to see me lose rather than to see me win. I'm aware of that, so I make sure that happens pretty much all the time in everything I do video-wise. The funny thing about that fight scene is I got copyrighted to fuck because of the song I chose. You know, again, I was early to YouTube. This was like my third, fourth video, I think, something like that. And yeah, I got copyrighted for picking the wrong music. But I didn't know that was a bad thing then. So, whoops. But that's basically the Virtual Fighter one. So now we will move on to the next one, which is one I'm much more proud of. Much more proud of this one. Alien games. When the Virtual Fighter one was done, I looked back here, and as I said, I wasn't happy that I was trying to be more like AVGN than try and be more like myself. So in this one, the Aliens game one, I was much more me. I was being myself. I had figured out how fucking cropping worked to an extent. I still let a few fuck-ups slip in with the intro for one. I didn't crop down game footage. I should have done. I don't know why I didn't, but I didn't, and I'm a twat. But everything in this video was done better. The editing, the horror effects at the start, the fact that I was covering more than one game, I realised, because it was a bit ambitious, it felt ambitious to cover several games rather than just the one, but it flowed much better. It was much easier talking about several games than just one. So that was something I would do again and again down the line, because it just felt easier, more comfortable. And obviously the main joke, because again, there's always one main joke, and loads of little ones around. The main joke here was the face hugger skit. And I was trying to be ambitious again, because I didn't know editing. I didn't know how software worked. I was learning as I went. But I discovered the ability to make footage go in reverse. So I thought, how can I use that in an effect? So the effect was to have a face hugger pulled off of my face, and then when it's in reverse, it looked like the face hugger jumped on my face. And it's a crappy little Plushie face hugger. It's shit. But it's I thought it worked quite well. My wife Charlie was laughing her arse off when helping me with it, because of course I needed her to pull the string that was attached to the face hugger. She's like, what are we doing? Trust me, it'll look good. She didn't believe me. As she was doing it, she's trying not to laugh, so we had to cut the audio because I think some of her giggling got into the footage, which is fine. It was fine. It was funny when we were doing it. We enjoyed doing that. And, yeah, before I did the video, I reversed the footage just to show what it looked like, and she was like, holy shit, that looks brilliant. It looks crap, you know, in the sense of it's funny as fuck, but it was pretty good. And the funny thing is, I'd made two main jokes for this video because I wasn't focusing, wasn't paying attention. I guess I got distracted, and I made the Doom video joke. I love that one. That's stupid as fuck. As I was recording it, and I'm going back and forth in the chair in normal time before speeding it up, the wife's sitting in her chair, the other side of the room, looking at me. She's like, "The fuck are you doing?" And I'm trying not to pay attention, so I'm rocking back and forth, just going, "Stop talking, don't make me laugh. I'm trying to record a thing." So, yeah, I was much more proud of the Aliens videos and the Aliens games video. Sorry, why Aliens? Because I fucking love the Aliens films. One of my favourite films of all time, Alien 1. I know most people say Alien 2, aka Aliens, but for me it was Alien 1. So that's, a bit of backstory about that video. And now we move on to the next one. The Family Games one. You see, I thought it would be genius, for some fucking reason, to have a big Christmas video. Because you see people like AVGN and Pat the NES Punk, and I don't think Jew Wario, but quite a lot of people doing Christmas specials. So I thought that must be a great way to get views. I was wrong. That's a terrible way to get views, because no one wants to watch a Christmas video at any other time of the year except for Christmas. So it's the sort of video that rarely gets views because of that. I did other Christmas videos down the line, but I don't do any more because the effort is never worth it. But I'm happy I made some. And why Family Games? Because I couldn't think of any Christmas games at the time. I just thought, I got all these family ones, they're labelled family on the corner of Master System games, so maybe I'll do that. Maybe that'll be the plan, because at the end of the day, I wanted to cover Master System a lot, and forgot to mention this at the start, but, Paddy NES Punk, NES, AVGN, NES, Jew Wario, alright, Famicom, but it's still NES. I thought, no one bloody does this kind of comedy, this kind of video on Master System. I want it to be Master System. I couldn't find anyone else that did the sort of thing I wanted, so that helped me make what I wanted. That's why when it came to the Christmas one, I was like, it needs to be Master System games again. I couldn't find anything Christmassy, so I went with Family Games for some fucking reason. It's kind of fitting. It is. I mean, one of the games is Monopoly. If you say you never played Monopoly at a sort of Christmas time with your family growing up, then you're either lying or you're young. Is all I could say, because I should imagine nowadays people don't do it. But back in the day, 80s, early 90s, yeah, fucking Monopoly and a bunch of other crap broke out of the cupboard. Hooray. So what's the main joke behind the Christmas one, the Family Games one? It's simple. Like I said, I was influenced a bit by Pat the NES Punk. And he did this thing where he would always talk to his plushies and stuff. Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, Rob the Robot, to name a few. He covered it a lot. And AVGN did it a bit as well, but he only did it like in single episodes. It was never a recurring thing. Like hell, Shit Pickle never really came back. And while those videos with those little characters were enjoyable, I like them. I like them. I also thought it was fucking stupid. It's silly. So I wanted to take the piss out of that. So my character, the Sega head character, would talk to a plushie. I knew it had to be a plushie because there's no Master System version of Rob the Robot or anything like that. So I was thinking at first of having a Sonic the Hedgehog plushie. I thought, that's too typical. Not only that, a sad cunt like the Sega head character, I know it's me, would probably be more fitting with the sidekick like Tails. So I got hold of a Tails plushie, which I still have to this day, and the idea was to talk to Tails like everyone did in their videos talking to stuffed animals, but my one wouldn't respond because it's a stuffed toy. It was just to get the point across that this is a sad fucker who talks to his toys. The toys don't talk back. That was the joke. And I think it really hit home. And I'm quite happy with that. Especially when at the end you think, it's just a toy, mate. It's just a toy. It's not going to talk. And then later he looks back and it's just a sign saying, gone to the pub. It's like, oh, it doesn't talk, but it fucked off and left him. So, just making the Sega head character look sad again. So, it was great. I was really happy with the joke. The video, wish it had done better. It's definitely one of the worst ones for views when it comes to the Sega head episodes. But I like the video. I'm happy with how it turned out. And the main joke was fitting and hit home. So that's the Christmas one. That's family games. The next one is very simple. You see, I kept getting the same requests. Back then, I didn't have a lot of subs. In fact, I think even at this point, when the Sonic ones came out, this far in the Sega Head episodes already, but I had maybe 25 subscribers, and that was it. That was it. Even though these videos took minimum of a month to make, I put more... Did I put more effort into them back then? No, I think it's just I didn't have as much time for side videos, so I focused on these more. There were no Let's Plays as such. There was definitely no game poke. There was other ideas, but nothing was getting made, so these got done quicker. But everyone kept requesting the same thing. You should do Sonic the Hedgehog. I was like, I don't want to do Sonic the Hedgehog. I want to cover a lot of Sega stuff. And I love Sonic the Hedgehog games. I fucking love them. But I don't want to just focus on fucking Sonic. Because, like, you don't focus on Mario all the time if you're Nintendo. You shouldn't focus on Sonic all the time if you're Sega. Yet, it was the only requests I was getting. So, I thought I'll just have to make a video. So, I tried to cover obscure Sonic games and ones that people didn't know about or were a hack. Like, there's a Shadow the Hedgehog in Sonic the Hedgehog game, which is bollocks. You know, it's literally just a skin change, but it was funny to show in the vid. And the thing is, with this video, I decided, because I got one rule. Right? I haven't covered this. I should have mentioned this at the start as well. Bit all over the place. It's a podcast. Fuck you. I try to make every Sega Head episode different from the last one. They can be similar to past ones. I don't mind that. That's fine. But I want them to be different from the one that came out just before. It's a little golden rule I have for myself. And so here I tried to make it a bit more educational than the last one. The Family Games one was mainly based around the joke of being a sad fuck, you know, and just it being Christmassy. So this one I wanted to be less on the comedy side and more on the educational side. These are games you probably don't know about. I was trying to teach something while still keeping that layer of comedy to it. So the main joke here is much smaller than the others. I mean, there was that little joke with Amy the Hedgehog, but that's only a small joke. The big joke really was taking the piss out of Sonic R, because Sonic R is a bad game. It just is. The controls suck, the music is crap. It could have been better, it really could have, but it isn't. It's as simple as that. It's not a great game. So I did a little joke at the end of it where I'm racing against my mate Chicken, and it was just a piss about running around like a dick with some decent music in the background, decent old school Sonic music. It was fun, although it was funny when we were recording that. There were several people turning up, and they were exchanging hands and then walking away as quick as possible. It was like, no, another trade there for drugs, and that happened like 3 times. Some guy must have made a lot of money that day. But like, I'm over there wearing a Sonic thing on my head, looking like an idiot while some guy's buying his weed. Like, and that's just down the road from where I live. That's like a 2-minute walk. I shit you not. So, it's a great neighborhood I live in. Great neighborhood. Okay, the next video. Tasmania. Alright, the Tasmania games. There was a good reason why I wanted to cover this, but I'll get to that in a second. I made a joke here about how many subs I had. And that's how I know how many subscribers I had at this time, because it's true. I had 30 subscribers when this video came out. That is poor. It's fucking poor. At this time, I only had 30 subscribers. But I kept going. I kept giving it my all. Because I had fun making the videos. I had fun editing. The main jokes in this one are silly. There's a butter my butt commercial. It's made to look like an advert that you can't skip. That was great fun. It was stupid as fuck. Is it the main joke of the video? Holds a strong point, I reckon. But the reason why I picked Taz games was so many people say, oh, Tasmania on the Megadrive. That's a brilliant game. It's fantastic. No, it's not. It's shit. As a platformer, it's terrible. It's slow. The jumping is pathetic. It just feels so fucking sluggish. It's a crap game. I reckon people are nostalgia blind for that game. It's not good. It isn't. I grew up with Tasmania on the Master System. My stepbrother had it on Megadrive. He loves the Mega Drive one. Or rather, he loved at least. I haven't asked him if he still likes it, but he loved that game. I love the Master System one. I've owned both. I still do. Played both. I know the Master System one plays better. Looks simple because it's 8-bit, but it's still very colourful. The music is better. The music in the music in the Mega Drive one is shit. It's terrible. It sounds like a musical instrument being thrown down a staircase. I shit you not. It sounds like a One Direction song. It's crap. Master System one's simple, but upbeat, catchy, good. Master System one is a much easier game. It's made for kids, this one. It is, but it's fun. It's a good, fun game. If you're an adult, you'll enjoy it. If you're a kid, you'll enjoy it and maybe stand a chance of completing it. Mega Drive one's crap. So I really wanted to cover that. Even though this video has a lot of silly jokes in it. This one was filled with silly jokes. So it's tough to think which one was the main one in mind. It's a bit tough thinking back. It was a good few years ago now, but I'm very proud of this video. Was this the last one before I got a better camera? Because for a while, everything was like 720 and the picture quality was shit. I had crap lights, crap lighting. In fact, looking at this now, the lighting still isn't brilliant. I mean, at some points in the kitchen, washing the hands, the lighting's terrible. But aside from that, I'm still very proud of the video. The cropping is much better in places, the effects is much better, the editing had improved, the lighting was a fail cake, and the camera was an old one. You know, you start with what you fucking got. But much happy with this, and I tried a bit of a green screen effect at the Tasmania start. It's not too bad. Cropping is a bit wrong, but the effect worked, which is the main thing at least. Anyway, moving on. Micro Machines. This was my most ambitious video. I wanted to do split screen. And a lot of split screen. But I needed another character. And I had thought up Posh Knob and Hillbilly in a past video. I did not want to reuse them. I thought, what's the opposite of the character Sega Head? Nintendo Head. So I got a character that sounded like Moss from the IT crowd. I got a wig because what's the opposite of me? Someone that has a lot of hair. Someone that instead of swearing a lot and being rude and violent and an angry old cunt was young, innocent, and loved playing games. Was just a nice person. So the opposite of me. So that was the idea. And it kind of worked. At least I think it worked. I'm very happy with how the video turned out. The split screen effect looks good for the most part. I could point out bits where it's like, that bit there is a bit obvious. That effect there, I can see where you've done that. But I'd like to see someone do better when this is only their second time trying split screen. And I think, yeah, pretty sure I had a new camera at this video. You look at the visual quality from this one to the Taz one, this one's gone up a bit. And again, the split screen, it's not too bad. It really isn't. And my acting, I'm not bigging myself up, but I'm much happier with my acting at this point. So, and why Micro Machines? Well, I wanted a game that was on NES and Master System because it's got to be Nintendo vs. Sega for this video. Has to be. I picked that one because both the cartridges were different and silly, and I thought, I grew up playing Micro Machines on the NES. My stepbrother had it. Didn't have the Master System one, so when I finally got it, I was playing it, I was like, the Master System one looks so much better. Plays crapper because of the fucking controller, unfortunately. So I wanted to cover that and be honest. I wanted it to be goofy, angry, and educational. I thought this is the time when I can really combine all the things I wanted. I mean, I'd done it in the past. I definitely did it with the Alien one. Definitely did it with the Taz one. Sonic was more educational and goofy. It was lacking the angry. And some others were in similar sort of ways. But this one and the Taz one really had all three in full force. So I was very happy. And of course, the main joke of this one is the split screen with Nintendo Head. I was very happy with this video. It's sad to see how old I've gotten. Next video, Mega Man The Wily Wars. I was so happy at the time because someone had come along and made a request. This is one of the first requests from someone who I didn't know. You know, I didn't know who this person was. This was just a viewer, someone who was watching my stuff, and he said he was enjoying it. So that was fucking great. Especially because Micro Machines video, I may have failed to mention, I was very happy with it. Turned out how I wanted it to. The views were shit, and I think they're still shit. It's got terrible views, and I don't know why. I guess I advertised it wrong or something. People just hate split screen. I don't know, but it made me think it's not worth doing again. That video was hard to make. Very hard to make. Didn't pay off. Then someone comes along, requests I do Mega Man. I thought, hell yes, even though that was tough to play. There was no Mega Drive Mini at the time, so I bought a fucking repo cart that luckily saved, because the first one I bought, the save feature didn't work. I was furious at that. Got another one that did save. Wow, I look young there. And tanned. Whew. God, I'm delicious. Anyway, the only real main joke here was Sega Head characters trying to beat the Nintendo Head character that has a very small appearance. It's not even split screen, but it's going to be a game versus game thing, apparently. Mega Man. There's great Mega Man games on the NES. There's a bunch of them. Mega Man on Sega? No. We only got one. And of course, the joke of the vid is finding out about that one and covering it. That's it. There's not a big joke to it. It's more of just an honest review. And I'm happy with this one. I am happy with this video. But strangely enough, it gets forgotten about. And not just by other people. I forget I did this. This is one of them videos that I'm happy with. It's not awesome. It's not one of my best ones. It's far from one of my worst ones. But it gets forgotten about. Because reasons. Oh yeah, and I had to get the Genesis cart. I couldn't find one that saved, that was Mega Drive, that was PAL. I had to get a fucking Genesis one. But it was really well made and works fine. So, that's all I've got to say about that video. Now here's one where I really pulled out all the stops. I wanted it to be AVGN-like. I wanted it to be goofy, NES Punk-like. I wanted it to be educational, Jew Wario-like. I wanted to cover the Master System as a console. But I thought I will also cover Alex Kidd because it's a built-in game. I thought it's easier to cover the console if I cover a game accompanying it. At least that's how it felt. That's how it made sense. And I love this video. It's got a few things in it that I fucked up on. No one, well, at least I don't think anyone would have ever noticed this. One, this video came out the day I hit 30. I'm 34 now. So it's mad seeing what I was look like when I was 30. For one thing, now I shaved my head right down there. I just got the beard trim and went all the way around. But yeah, now I shave it and it's gone. That doesn't matter. It's completely irrelevant. What was I talking about? Ah, yes, things I don't like about this video. Well, I tried to do a lot of shots flying around the place, a lot of zoom-ins on the Master System. The green screen isn't great, but it was the best I could do with my lighting and my cameras. It's not bad. It isn't. Is it top quality? Is it fuck? But it's not bad. I'm still happy with that. There's certain pictures that I had fly on the screen. I should have cropped some of them, because some of them have still got logos from the places I got them from, so that's... looks like I'm a running fucking advertisement. It could have been better. It could have been better. But I think it was a good step on how to do things. I'm proud of the way I managed to get it all to work. I just wish I had better equipment. It's one of them occasions where my editing had gotten better. Not perfect, as I said. I didn't crop certain things, or still being a bit dumb with logos and shit. But it was mainly the tech I was using that was letting me down. The green screen, I couldn't get that any better. I didn't have a good enough camera. I didn't have good enough lights. And when doing green screen, if the light isn't good enough, you will get a blurry outline, and it's a cunt to get rid of. So I tried my best with that. I really did. But I loved talking about Master System and covering so many things about it. To this day, I still don't have the 3D glasses. That pisses me off. But I do have the steering wheel jobby. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Plus, I got the Master System converter too, which you do see in the video. What a terrible zoom-in bit that was just there. Oh dear. Sorry, you wouldn't have known what the fuck I'm on about with the audio, but never mind. This video I'm very happy with, and covering Alex Kidd. The funny thing is, I covered it before I completed it. I completed the game on 2-year anniversary of the channel. That was when I finally completed Alex Kidd in Miracle World for the first time in my fucking life. When doing this video and covering Alex Kidd, I had not beaten it. But I openly admitted that in the video, which is the main thing. I didn't lie. I didn't pretend I had done it. No, I had not done it. I have now. I've done it a few times. I'm still a die-hard fan of that game. I think it is the tits. This video was one I'm super happy with, super proud of. I wish, if I hadn't done it already, I would make this video again, and I would make it better with the better tech I have and the things I know now, and it would be a better quality video. But it was still top quality for what I did then. I'm still very proud of it. I got no complaints with this one. Not really. The only thing I could have done better is having better tech and a slight cropping. I can't fucking help that one. Can I? Next game is Evil Dead Hail to the King on Dreamcast. I hadn't done a Dreamcast game up to this point. I thought, fuck, I've got to do one. Got to cover Dreamcast. And why Evil Dead? Well, my experience growing up with the Dreamcast was fucking limited. So I went with a game that I had played that was also on the PS1. Also, I wanted it to be a Halloween special. I decided I wanted to do that. And I didn't know of any other horror games. Evil Dead. One of my favourite films of all time is Evil Dead 2. So to find Evil Dead on PlayStation was fantastic, phenomenal. Loved that. To find it on Dreamcast was like, this needs to be a video. So I sat down and thought, I wonder how much footage I can get. I sat down, started one day on a weekend, started recording all the footage. And before I knew it, I was ploughing through the game. And I thought, I could probably complete this and get all the footage and do a full video. A full review. So I did. I'm fucking happy I did that. The main joke here, of course, is at the very start, getting chased by Evil Spirit, which is essentially that fucking thing from the films. It's very easy to do. It's some cunt holding a camera and running. That cunt was Chicken, my mate Pete. So he's running along, chasing me. It's just as poor as the Evil Dead films. The running by me is crap, but then again, the running by Bruce Campbell was slapstick crap, so it's the same level of shite. Of course, Bruce Campbell run down, it's an action hero-like guy, torn shirt, showing muscle. Me, it's a fat cunt in a hoodie. Running past my old shitty Land Rover. Wow. I miss that car. That car just worked. It didn't give me any shit. But the other funny thing is when it shows the ghost that's chasing me, it's my mate Chicken dressed up as a giraffe. Why a giraffe? We had a giraffe costume. I said to him, we need to get hold of 2 costumes I have for a joke. He says, I have a friend that's got 2 giraffe onesies. It's like, why do you have a friend that has 2 giraffe onesies? And why do you know your friend has 2 giraffes onesies? He says, don't ask. Yeah, but I need to know. And he never fucking told me, the cunt. But he brought the damn things round and we made jokes out of that. That's the main joke behind the video, but otherwise, with the review of Evil Dead Hail to the King, I thought it turned out great. I'm dead happy with it. This is one that I haven't watched in a long time, but there's a lot of nostalgia looking back at it, and I think I did things quite right here. The editing was, it was pretty good. I'm quite proud of this video. I'm very happy with this one. No complaints, and I love being able to say that. Because these are the videos I have the most fun working on. I have more fun making Sega Head episodes than anything else. I wish I could just do them. I wish those would be the videos I could just make, but my channel will be deader than shit, and it's pretty dead as it is. Oh yeah, that was another joke there. The Evil Dead game appearing, wanting to be reviewed, like, no, anything but that, and then it disappears, like, oh, phew, now I haven't got to review that game. And then 50 cents Bulletproof game for the PS2 appears instead. It's like, shit, no, wait, I changed my mind, I'll review Evil Dead. So, I like the video, and I like Evil Dead. Fuck it, let's see what the next video is. Now this one here, I was trying to be more educational. It's Sega games on the Atari 2600. And also I was trying a different sort of shooting angle. I decided I wanted you to see me playing the games as I'm going along. Of course, I'm not really playing the games. It's like, is James Rolfe really playing the games in his Angry Video Game Nerd videos? No, of course he fucking isn't. He's holding a controller looking at nothing. Everybody does that. So I wanted more of that shot. but the background there was not quite good. It's just the family telly, Can of Relentless, a PS3, I think, I don't know, and a bunch of crap. But that was the start, I think. I think it was the start of them kind of shots. There was something similar in the Sonic ones. But, oh, God, look, even in one part of the video there, you can see bog roll that the family's bought. Hasn't gone upstairs yet. There's something I regret. Twat. But educational-wise, I wanted to show that there were Sega games on the Atari 2600. Before Sega really had their own console, they were putting out console games. Some of them are alright, some of them are shit, but then again, that's the way it is. Plus, Atari 2600 games, you need imagination. I had the hardest time recording Atari 2600 footage, and it ended up being a camera faced at a telly, and at some points done with a VHS recorder. It was a pain in the dick. It was really hard to do. Nowadays, I've got an Atari clone console that works flawlessly. God, I wish I had that back then. The footage would have looked so much better. So much better. The main joke on this one, there's not really one because it's a fucking Christmas video again. And I thought nostalgia at Christmas was important. So I got Atari. And this video has my son Kane appear in it. And he looks so small in this. I had to buy him a t-shirt to match mine, one with the Sega logo on it. He loved that shirt. He was gutted. Gutted. I mean, it didn't fit anymore. But he loved that shirt. Well, he was gutted again a little while later when his younger sister was old enough to wear it. She's going around in his shirt. That's not fair. That's not fair at all. So I had to go and buy him more stuff. Yay, being a parent is fun. Not. Next video. This one I'm really proud of because I had a fucking brainwave with this one. I wanted to do a fake trailer-like video. Fake trailer-like video. I wanted it to be the game Mercs. Why Mercs? Because a friend of mine gave me a Marines shirt, a genuine Marine shirt. The shirt you see me wearing there is something a Marine has worn, and that's because his stepson? Yes, his stepson was a Marine, and let's just say a lot of bad stuff happened to that guy. A lot of bad stuff out there. And when he got back and he was out of it, he wanted to get rid of everything. So he was just giving clothes. You wouldn't believe the amount of army and military stuff you'd find at charity places, at car boot sales. It's because people just want to get rid of it. They don't want to remember. Some people want that stuff out of their lives. And I get that. And this shirt somehow fell into my fucking possession. I thought, okay, well, that's genuine. So why don't I try and do a sergeant character? So I did. There's not really a Sega head character in this one. There's just a sergeant cunt who goes, Mercs, every so often. But in different ways and keeping the joke going. This whole video is a joke. It's not really informative in the slightest, except for the fact of, here's the Master System version of Mercs. Graphics are alright. Gameplay's pretty good. Game's tough. Then later, the Megadrive one, graphics, far better. Music, far better. Gameplay, far worse. It's too hard. They've made it too much like the arcade, and in doing so, ruined the game a bit. But this whole thing is one big joke. It doesn't stop being that one big joke, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm very happy with the video. It's one of the, maybe it might even be the shortest Sega Head episode. But I had a lot of fun making this one, and I have a lot of fun watching it again. This is one I'm insanely proud of for being able to keep it funny from start to finish. That's tough. Other ones, I can give myself the break when I think this is a moment when I want to be educational. This is a moment when I want to be goofy. This is a moment when I want to be angry. So it's like when to be funny, when not to be funny. This one, as far as I give a shit, this one is just funny. I'm very happy with that. You cannot complain at your own work when you know it was funny from start to finish. Even though I look like a fucking idiot. The next one had to be done for a simple reason. It's Virtual On. I had to cover Virtual On. I could not believe the amount of people that didn't know what this game was. It's insane. The annoying thing is there's been plenty of sequels to come out on Xbox in Japan. Over here, there ain't none. Maybe in America, I think there's like maybe one or two on the Xbox 360. But over here, there's nothing on nothing. We got the Sega Saturn one. That's it. That's some bullshit, isn't it? Some grade A bullshit. Here I pulled out all the stops with the editing. I made it as good as I could. And I think this... No, the Mercs one was actually the first one, but this is like the second one where the editing was Like 90% awesome. There's only 10% of things I wish I'd done different, but I didn't know how to at the time. Most of the time when you look back at the old videos, it's a case of why is this like this? Why is it not better? It's because I didn't know how to make it better at the time. I learned as I went. That's how it's always been with this fucking channel. I learn as I go. With this one, I got to fuck around a bit. I got to piss about. I got to show you this really cool controller that I still have. Got it on the shelf up there. Virtualon twin stick controller. Fucking brilliant controller. I've completed Virtualon on the hardest difficulty setting with that controller. That is tough, but I've done it, and I did it in the recording you see in this video. This isn't just some random recording where it's like, oh, I say I'm playing with this, but I'm actually using a normal controller. Like, no. I wanted the footage to be true and honest, and it was. I did it with the twin stick, and it's a good, solid review. The editing is nicely done. Imaging, nicely done. I get to take the piss out of Russell Brand, which is a bonus because I hate that cunt. No, I just do. And I hopefully educated people by going, look, this is Virtualon. This game is the tits. You know, we need more Virtualon. There was a rumour a while ago, Virtualon coming to the PS4. It's like, oh my god. And it didn't. So fuck you, whoever made that rumour. We go to the game Shadow of the Beast. Now, this game's better known for its Amiga port, but it had a Master System and Megadrive port, and it was just like, there's some easy material here. And that was pretty much why I picked it. It was like, it's easy to talk about Master System 1 because it's surprisingly good graphically, but it has some flaws, and the difficulty is dog shit. But I thought, that's a great game to be angry about. So that's why I picked that. But also there's a Mega Drive one that is stupidly hard. It's fucking ridiculous. It looks 1,000 times better. 1,000 times better than the Master System one. But, yeah, difficulty is impossible. It's not a game you can beat. You can't beat the Mega Drive one. If you're someone out there that says you have, you've either cheated or you're a lying bastard. As far as I'm concerned, it can't be fucking done. But also I got to show the, was it PS3 or PS4? I think it's PS4. Yeah, it's PS4. Shadow of the Beast on PS4, the remake and reimagining. In fact, yeah, it's more of a reimagining than a remake. That game is the tits. And at the time I was playing it, I thought I got to do a video on all this. And the goofiness is a bit lower on this game. The anger portrayed in it is through the roof. And education, yeah. Yeah, the education is definitely there. We're teaching you about the Master System one, showing you the difference between this, and the Mega Drive one, and the Amiga one, because the PS4 one had the Amiga game built in as well. So I could show all levels of this game. Not levels as in level 1, level 2, but all the different forms this game had taken. I'm sure there were other ones, but like covering the Sega ones, of course being Sega Head was the important thing to do, and showing where it started with the Amiga, and what it's like today with the PS4 one. This one was definitely educational. Very angry. It was just lacking on the goofy a bit. But it didn't fail because of that. I think this one did quite well for views. So at the end of the Shadow of the Beast video, I said I would, well, at least I think it was the end of that one, going off of memory now, said how I would cover the greatest Sega game ever. The next time you come along, I'll show you the greatest Sega game ever, which was tough. So I wanted to show a game that I think did not, and still doesn't, get the recognition it deserves. Valkyria Chronicles. PS3, PS4, I think there's PSP as well, but there's a Switch one as well now, if you want a good cheap version. It's digital only as far as I know, which is a cunt. But Valkyria Chronicles is a fantastic game. It's real-time strategy that's also turn-based. It's like, how do you do that then? Well, believe it or not, they did it, and they did it well. This video is short, it's got no anger, it's got none. Goofy, a little bit. Only a little bit. This is more of an educational thing. I just wanted to show people this game existed because I felt like no one was talking about it. It's like, what the fuck, man? Valkyria Chronicles, how have you not played that? How do you not know about that? What the? All right, here, look, I'm going to show you. So this video was less focused on making it more like a Sega Head episode and more just showing you this game is so great, I would dare to say it's the greatest Sega game ever. It's not true. It's impossible to say this is the greatest Sega game ever. But it is a fucking incredible Sega game. And I thought the only way to get people to watch it and learn was to say it's the greatest. So that was a bit sellout-y. looking back at it, but I don't give a fuck, because if it got people to watch it and learn about it, the game I mean, then hey, that'll do. Of course, covering the greatest game ever meant I finally got to talk about the worst Sega game ever. Anyone who's been listening to this 16-Bit Chin podcast has been waiting for me to talk about this game, so good thing I've only got to talk about it for a little bit. The worst Sega game ever invented. Flintstones on the Sega Master System. This is a game I grew up with. I swear to God, it's the reason why I swear so much, why I know all the words I know, because my dad played this game with me when I was like 5 or 6. He swore a lot. He swore a lot in front of his 5 or 6-year-old boy. And I learnt every swear word you can imagine. Oh yes, I learnt them all. All because of watching him play this fucking game. And the game is trash. It's a trash game. AVGN had done a video on the game he hated most, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And I thought, my character is lacking, is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You know what I mean by that? But I had talked about this mysterious game that I never showed the cover for, because I thought maybe one day I would cover it, would talk about it. So it was a bit of a build-up. One I think worked quite well for anyone that followed the channel long enough, or goes back and follows the Sega Head episodes from start to finish. You know, from the first one to the last one. You might learn a bit. You might be interested in it and think, I need to see what that game is. If you're new to the channel, you might think, what's that game? What the fuck have you got in that case? I need to know. And when you get there, it's like, Flintstones? Really? A Flintstones game is the worst Sega game ever? Yeah, it is. Try playing it. It's horrible. It's fucking bad. It is dog shit. The only thing that's good about it is the graphics, and even then, who gives a toss? Proof that good graphics in any kind of graphical level in history, you know, 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit, wherever the fuck bit we are now, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. Gameplay matters. Story, a little bit. Music, I think music's quite important. This game, the music keeps on going. It's stuck on fucking repeat. It's trash. Sound effects, are there any? Yeah, like 2. Yabba dabba doo, and that's it. That's one, you twat. Maybe there's another one. Fuck you. But I hate the Flintstones on Master System. So anyway, the video, as I should focus on, is obviously filled with anger. Goofiness, there's a good level of goofiness. I managed to keep that there. Educational, obviously the educating is in teaching people why the game is so bad. Why it scarred me. Why you should be afraid of it. Why it's so phenomenally shit. I also managed to pay homage to the AVGN in this video. That in the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde one he did, the big one, not the early days one, but the big one, he kept going to put the cartridge in and then took it out and then talked about a load of old bollocks. And I thought, this isn't ripping him off. This isn't stealing his joke. It was a homage to him. I did the same thing, but talked about more random stuff. And then on the last bit, I even said, did you know puppy dogs in France? Which is what he started talking about before he said, yeah, I know, I'm delaying the inevitable, I'll play it. Rather than have that, I had a random woman scream as if trying to say, just play the fucking game. So I did that. And I got to show a bit more of the game room. The camera's nice, the lighting's nice, the editing's pretty good. And I finally got to show the worst game I have. I hate this fucking game. So let's move on to The Terminator vs. Robocop. Here I got to do some good editing. I was very happy with the joke at the start. I wanted to be a bit ambitious again. I felt like I hadn't been ambitious in too long. So I was trying the effect of it looking like I was being reactivated as a machine. And it turned out quite well, I think. I'm happy with it. Also, didn't get copyrighted on this shit, even though there's footage from Robocop and Terminator here. It worked out well. No copyright. I can't complain. I must have done something right somewhere there. Maybe too many things were covering the footage. I don't know, but at least it worked. Fuck you, most recent video, for that kind of shit. But this was just a game that I wanted to cover an awesome game. I had just done the Flintstones. I was flat out pissed off. Wanted to cover something great. And Robocop vs. Terminator is my favourite Megadrive game. There is a Master System one, and it was covered in this. It's alright. It ain't bad. I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. 8 out of 10 maybe? No, because when you lose all your lives, that's it, you fucked it. There's no continues. No, I don't think. The Game Gear game's the exact same thing, so pick your poison. And I wanted to focus, because this is one of them occasions where, people say, Nintendo's better than Sega. Well, here, it definitely ain't, mate. Because Robocop vs. Terminator on the Super Nintendo is an entirely different game, and it's an entirely shittier game. It's bollocks. Does it cover the story better? Yeah, it's got better comic strip bits. Well, it has comic strip bits. The Megadrive one doesn't. The Megadrive one has text. But the gameplay on the Megadrive one is so much better. The music is so much better that it trounces the fucking story on the SNES one to the point where you're just saying, I don't give a fuck, mate. You can keep your damn story bits. I've got all the good stuff. You can have the crap stuff. And the Mega Drive one is a fantastic game. The main joke of this video really was just that start bit and focusing on educating, being a little angry because, as I say, Super Nintendo one shit. But I got to cover a lot of cool stuff in this vid, and it was a good one. It's one that I hope people will still enjoy today. And more importantly, I hope people will play this game. Because you see all these new Mega Drive things that come out. The Mega Drive fucking library bollocks, Genesis special, whatever the fuck it is. On the Super Nintendo, PS4, blah, 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 blah. We keep getting repeats of Genesis game bundles, And it's alright. Like we got Sega Ages. We got to play some decent ones there. Herzog Zwei. Was Herzog Zwei on the Mega Drive? I can't remember the name of the fucking thing. You can still get the Mega Drive thing. Damn it. There's a game where you can get all the Mega Drive, not all the Mega Drive games. I'm completely lose track myself. There's a bunch of fucking Mega Drive games you can get on this one disc. Fuck you. They never ever have Robocop vs. Terminator in any of these little bonus things. Ever. For some reason, this one's always left out. It's like, why? This game is the tits. We've got 1,001 things giving us Sonic the Hedgehog 1, 2, and 3. Can't we have this? Not only that, there's one Mega Drive games list thing on PS3. It's got Virtual Fighter 2 on it from the Mega Drive. Why the fuck have we got that, but I haven't got Robocop vs. Terminator? Like, that was the mindset of this video. It's like, this game's too awesome to not be anywhere else, and it's not anywhere else, so what the fuck? This next one, I thought it's time to be ambitious even more. I thought I'm going to cover not just a group of games like Alien games, Robocop vs. Terminator games, this shit. It was... No, I'm going to cover a genre. The entire genre. Not every game from said genre that's on a Sega console, because you could not fit all that in one vid, unless you're Game Sack, maybe. Even then, I don't think they've done it in one vid. I think they've covered it across several. I wanted to cover shmups, and why I hate that fucking term. When I grew up, they were called shoot-em-ups. Shooter was for first-person shooters, and shoot-em-ups was if you're a spaceship and it's Space Invaders-like. That's what we called it growing up. Then shmup came along and it took everyone over, and it's even burnt into my vocabulary, so you'll find me saying it. But I hate it every time I say it, trust me. This one was meant to be more educational, a bit low on the anger, but it was still goofy in a lot of places. So, this is it's definitely up there on the ambition of covering so many games. Both good and bad. The editing... Yeah, I'm quite happy with the editing. I can't think of anything bad in this video. Normally, in every video I've talked about, there's been the odd thing I didn't like or something I should have done better. Here, I can't think of anything. I'm even trying to zoom through it for myself here to find something I didn't like. And, no, nothing. I even decided I'm going to be even more ambitious and do what I've done just a couple of times in the past. Give a hint as to what the next video is going to be. And that next video was Mortal Kombat. But everyone knows that, let's just be honest here, Mortal Kombat 1 is better Sega than it is Nintendo. Mortal Kombat 2 is better Nintendo than it is Sega. It just is. That's the way it is. They needed to be covered. The Mortal Kombat games needed to be covered. But not today. Because it's come to my realization that this podcast has gone on for a very long time. I thought I'd be able to get through every video, but I don't think that was ever possible without this podcast being forever long. So I apologize. But if you enjoyed this one, If you enjoyed this episode of the 16 Bitchin' Podcast, where we cover old Sega Head videos, the old Sega Head episodes, let me know. Put in the comments, subscribe, all that horse shit. Maybe we'll cover the other games, the ones that's left. I think I managed to cover over half the library, maybe, but there's no way I could get through all of them and talk a good bit about them without rushing it, and at that point, what is the point? So I hope you enjoyed this shit. Thank you very much for watching. If you're on YouTube, you got all the bonus stuff. Thank you very much for listening if you're anywhere else. Hopefully, audio still gave you some entertainment. This is one that's more for the video people today, but I think it will still be entertaining for those that are just listening. Anyway, once again, thank you very much for being here. See you next time.